Welcome to today's presentation. Today we're talking about Lesson 1, in the classroom. One important thing the teacher asks the students to do is to bring their English books every day. This helps us stay prepared and keeps our learning on track. The teacher also encourages us to speak English with the teacher and with our classmates. It's a great way to practice and improve our language skills. For example, the teacher might say, "Please remember to bring your English book every day and speak English with me and with your classmates." Now, let's look at some personal response questions. For instance, do you speak English with your teacher? A good sample answer is, "Yes, I speak English with my teacher during English class." Remember, speaking English regularly helps us become more confident and fluent. So, always try to participate and use English as much as possible in the classroom. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. Now, let's move on to Lesson 3, in the house. Here, we're focusing on matching column A with column B. This activity is designed to help us better understand various roles and functions within a household setting. As we go through, think about how these pairs relate to each other and how they connect to the overall idea of the household's organization. Remember, the goal is to reinforce your understanding of the different responsibilities and how they work together to keep a household running smoothly. So, take your time to analyze each pair and see the connections that make everything function seamlessly. Now, let's take a closer look at Lesson 4, in the street. In this lesson, there are no written questions, so we'll focus entirely on reading and understanding directions. This helps us practice giving and following instructions just like in real life. We'll see some map-based directions. These are sample answers that show us how to give clear, step-by-step guidance. For example, if someone asks how to get to Mosque Road, I might say, "Go along Park Road, turn right into Colony Road, then turn left into Lake Road. Go straight and you will reach Mosque Road." Notice how each step uses simple, precise directions. The same goes for Zilla School. Go along Park Road, turn right into Colony Road, then turn right into High Street. Go straight and you will reach Zilla School. The key points here are about understanding and giving directions clearly, using landmarks and turns, and following a logical sequence. This is an important skill, especially when helping someone navigate the streets. And remember, this ties into the overall theme of our presentation, building confidence in real-life communication and practical skills. So, pay attention to how these directions are structured. They'll help you when you need to ask for or give directions yourself. Now let's take a look at Lesson 5, which is about visiting a bookshop. On this slide, we see some sample questions based on pictures. The first key point is identifying the location. Most likely, it's a bookshop. You might find a bookshop in a market area or close to a school, which makes it easy for people to access books. The sample answer shows a typical response. "Yes, there is a bookshop near my school." This helps us understand how to answer questions about the location of a bookshop in a natural way. Most importantly, we're probably talking about buying books, so the conversation revolves around shopping for reading materials. When practicing these questions, remember to focus on describing the location clearly and sharing your own experiences, making the interaction more engaging and realistic. This ties back to our overall theme of improving communication skills in everyday situations. Let's walk through the correct order of the dialogue. First, we have someone greeting and offering help by saying, "Hello, can I help you?" Then the customer responds, "Can I have a pencil?" Next, the shopkeeper agrees and says, "Sure, anything else?" The customer adds, "Yes, an eraser too." At this point, the shopkeeper asks, "How much?" The customer then states the price, 15 taka, please." The shopkeeper confirms by handing over the money, saying, "Here is the money," and the customer receives the items with, "Here you are." Finally, the customer expresses gratitude with, "Thanks." This sequence is important because it models real-life customer service interactions, showing how polite conversations flow naturally in a shop setting. Understanding and practicing this order helps us improve our communication skills in everyday situations. Now let's move on to Lesson 6, in a restaurant. First, we'll look at the personal response activity, which encourages you to share your own experiences or opinions related to dining out. This helps build confidence in using restaurant-related vocabulary and expressions. Next, we have the listening text questions. Remember, since there's no audio provided, we can't review the answers now, but this activity focuses on developing your listening skills by understanding conversations in a restaurant setting. Lastly, there's a dialogue writing activity, which is a great chance for you to practice creating your own restaurant dialogues. It's all about applying what you've learned in a practical way. Moving forward to Lesson 7, at a railway station. Here, we start with listening text questions again. As before, since there's no audio, we can't check answers, but the goal is to sharpen your ability to comprehend station announcements and conversations. Then, we have an announcement writing activity, where you'll practice crafting clear and effective railway station announcements. This is essential for communication in real-world travel situations. Overall, these lessons are designed to boost your practical language skills in everyday contexts, connecting your speaking, listening, and writing abilities seamlessly. Let's talk about the location of the prize-giving ceremony. The correct answer is the school auditorium. This is where many important school events, like prize giving, are held because it can accommodate all students, teachers, and parents comfortably. Holding the event in the auditorium makes it feel special and formal, highlighting the importance of recognizing students' achievements. Now, moving on to the chief guest at the function. The correct answer is the principal of PN College. Having the principal as the chief guest emphasizes the significance of the event. It shows that the school respects and values the achievements of its students, and it also provides the students with an inspiring role model to look up to. Remember, the prize-giving day is a celebration of hard work, dedication, and success. It's important to recognize not just the awards, but also the support from teachers, parents, and the school community that makes such achievements possible. So let's talk about the timing of the event. The question is, what time did the function start? Was it at 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., or 6 p.m.? The correct answer is 4 p.m. This detail helps us understand the schedule and flow of the event, ensuring everyone was aware of the start time. Next, let's look at how the prizes were displayed. The options were on the floor, inside a cupboard, neatly on a separate table, or inside boxes. The correct answer is that the prizes were neatly arranged on a separate table. This setup not only made the prizes more accessible, but also added to the overall organization and professionalism of the event. Connecting these points to our overall theme, proper timing and presentation are key to hosting a successful function. Knowing the start time keeps everyone on track, and a neat display creates a welcoming atmosphere. Both details contribute to making the event enjoyable and well-organized for all attendees. Let's take a closer look at some important words related to achievements and recognition. First, we have visit, which means to go and see someone or a place. It's often used when talking about someone going somewhere to learn or experience something firsthand. Next is ceremony, which refers to a special event or program, usually to celebrate or honor something significant. Then we have eminent, which describes important and respected people in their field, often recognized for their contributions. Moving on, praise means to say good things about someone, highlighting their good qualities or accomplishments. Outstanding is a word we use to describe something that is very excellent or extremely good, truly exceptional. Another key word is display, which means to show something nicely so that people can see it clearly. This is often used when showcasing awards, achievements, or work. Now, relating this to our question about Farabi, it asks, how many prizes did Farabi receive? The options are 1, 2, 3, or none. The correct answer, as indicated, is 2. This highlights that Farabi was recognized multiple times for his contributions, which is why he's celebrated with awards and honors. Understanding these words helps us appreciate the significance of achievements and respect in the context of honoring eminent figures like Farabi. Now let's look at some useful sentences formed using the words from our lesson. For example, I might say, "I will visit my friend this evening," to show how we can use the word visit in a sentence. Moving on, we have the word ceremony. We might say, "Our school had a prize-giving ceremony yesterday," which helps us understand how to talk about special events. Next is eminent. We use this word to describe someone very important or distinguished, like in the sentence, "Many eminent guests attended the program." It shows how notable people are often present at special occasions. Then there's praise. For example, the teacher praised the students for their hard work, which encourages us to recognize effort and achievement. Following that, we have outstanding. Someone might receive a prize for their outstanding results, highlighting excellence in performance. Finally, the word display is useful when talking about showing or presenting things, like the prizes were displayed on a big table. This helps us visualize how items are arranged or showcased during an event. These sentences are great examples of how we can use these new words in everyday conversations and improve our vocabulary while connecting to the overall theme of celebrating achievements and recognizing efforts. Let's go over some short questions and answers from the story. First, who are the best friends in the story? The answer is Flora and Farabi. They share a very special bond and are very good friends. Next, where was the prize-giving ceremony held? It was held in the school auditorium, which is the main hall where such events take place. Now, who attended the function besides the students? Guardians and eminent persons of the locality also attended. This shows that the event was important and appreciated by the community. What did the head teacher do at the beginning of the function? He read out the annual report, giving everyone an overview of the year's achievements and activities. And finally, what prizes did Farabi receive? He received prizes for his regular attendance and good results, which highlight his dedication and academic success. These questions help us remember key details about the story and understand the importance of participation, recognition, and community involvement in school events. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide.